Hello everyone, my name is Martasia Carter. I'm a senior studying public health and political science, and I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'll be talking about leadership and reproductive justice. During my sophomore year, I took an African American Studies course that expanded my view of the world and my role within it. This course introduced me to Black feminist theory, from which my interest in reproductive justice is rooted. Black feminist theory provides the theoretical foundation which supports the concept that sexism, classism, and racism are inextricably bound together. With this new way of thinking, I began to see correlations between my experiences and the harmful perception society held toward me due to my identity. Therefore, I pursued a multitude of opportunities that transformed my idea of leadership, with Women of Color in Healthcare Association, founding that organization, being one of them. Of these opportunities, advocacy adhered the most to me. I had a direct connection to the cause. I witnessed too many women fall victim to society's inability to accept and support them. So I used this need as motivation and guidance to pursue my passions within maternal and child health disparities. Estimates of maternal deaths in the U.S. are continuously increasing. Currently, the U.S. has the highest rate of maternal mortality in the developing world at approximately 26.4 deaths per 100,000 women. As of 2017, and of these estimates of approximately 700 pregnancy-related deaths per year, majority are from Black and other women of color. In particular, Black women and children are faced with the burdens of society, lack of acceptance, representation, and support from the very political institutions meant to empower them. Oftentimes, this is masked by double-sided policies and mediocre legislators who initiate them. To name one, Medicaid in Indiana offers free health coverage to all pregnant low-income women. However, Medicaid work requirements ultimately force working mothers to maintain low-wage jobs in order to remain eligible. One can only imagine the joy that welcomes a new baby. But the reality is, mothers are forced to maintain full work shortly after birth or be robbed of her financial independence. Because of healthcare restrictions, mothers must either limit the hours they work or the hourly wage they earn. This leaves mothers helpless, and this further divides the family. So why are Black mothers and babies being placed in a life or death crisis? This has everything to do with the lived experiences of being a Black mother in America. These women are placed in cycles with no institutional support on getting out of them. They're forced to fight every day for their very existence, a right that should be accessible to us all. Further, in 2016, the CDC reported approximately 70% of births to Black women were out of wedlock. To many, single motherhood has become increasingly socially accepted. These mothers are seen as strong and courageous. Yet Black women who raise a child outside of the traditional nuclear family narrative are still demonized, criminalized, and seen as unfit for motherhood. Because Black women take on the provider role in many modern families, it is important to support and uplift those who are actively seeking to be present for and support their children. This can mean something as simple as providing subsidized childcare or paid parental leave. When we stand up for women's human rights at every intersection, we perpetuate social change. As important as the right to terminate a pregnancy is, the right to raise a child in a safe environment is equally important. The right to the resources to have a healthy pregnancy and raise a healthy baby is a fundamental piece of the narrative that is often overlooked. Reproductive justice accounts for the ability of a woman to determine her own reproductive destiny. These paradigms are directly influenced by the community in which a woman is a part of, and it's not always a matter of her individual choice. Too often we get entangled in our differences that we fail to acknowledge that the solution starts within the home and in the community. And this is exactly what Black feminist theory communicates and reproductive justice teaches us. Reproductive justice is the complete physical, mental, spiritual, political, social, and economic well-being of women and girls, based on the full achievement and protection of women's human rights. Leading with a reproductive justice lens acknowledges that social institutions are supposed to assist in the individual decision-making process, not inform the decision for the individual. When we acknowledge the inequities we are confronted with that control our right to make a choice, we contribute to a working, growing movement. Within the reproductive justice movement, organizations such as the Black Mamas Matter Alliance are working on a national scale to advocate, drive research, and build power. They're also working to shift the culture for Black maternal health rights and justice. This organization also offers training for advocates and providers who do reproductive justice work across the nation. More specifically, this organization has organized the inaugural National Black Maternal Health Week, a week of awareness, activism, and community engagement. In the same way, Women of Color in Healthcare Association, a Purdue student organization, is doing similar reproductive justice work on campus. A recent victory includes additional free STD testing during Get Yourself Tested Week, which starts this semester. The goal of this is to improve healthcare access for women of color, but this work influences the well-being of the entire campus community. Therefore, we must understand the circumstances beyond our own interest and invest in creating a better tomorrow. When we fail to support the power of the most excluded groups in our society, when we fail to reframe our mindset, when we fail to build a foundation in which we all can succeed upon, we lose. When one fails, we all fail. So I challenge you all to hold yourselves and your peers accountable for upholding this shared vision. I challenge you all to recognize your leadership capacity and denounce this unequal distribution of power that rules our society. I challenge you to see a need and to change your community. And finally, I challenge you to win.